It's nothing but melted buildings. They will tell you some Ooga Booga caveman came here to carve this or something. Do you think people with donkeys and chisels got some bricks all the way up there?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna look at some of the structures that don't make any sense to me based on the official narratives, etc. of these places, with Ooga Booga caveman and how they built and whatever. But to me, maltology, the melted structures, makes it make sense, and that's what we're looking for, right? Stuff that makes sense, and maltology explains it all. So let's get to it. So here you can see remains of some ruins here. There is this bigger wall here. There is another wall here. Some more stuff here, and another wall here. So to me this is great evidence that explains that this whole thing is a structure that's melted, and now, like I always say, now this current civilization call it mountains, but they are actually not mountains, they are remains of melted structures. And this also makes way more sense if you know about the heliocentric deception, the misdescription of the universe that they tell us and hammer into our heads since we're little naive kids at school. Because when you realize that's bullshit, then what are mountains? Because suddenly there is no plate tectonics and stuff like that. So where do all these formations come from, right? That's where meltology comes in. So you can see these remains here, and to build like this on the side of a cliff here, I mean, what's this supposed to be here? What are you supposed to use this for? So your building is here on this cliffside. So first of all, it's difficult to get up there. Second of all, there is no space in here. I mean, is this someone's house? Are you supposed to just have this tiny little room and live there, and then it will rain down here and come inside, and you know, you're not really protected from the elements even if you're in here and stuff. So it's just pockets of survival. So for some reason this cataclysm is, I mean, it's a cataclysmic event, so to replicate this is impossible, and to understand it fully is also impossible at this point, because it's a cataclysm, right? How do you, I mean, we can just know that it happened, but we can't know how it looked when it happened, and why there is pockets of survival. But I think how we explain it with electricity and stuff makes it make a little bit more sense. How the electricity go through the most conductive parts of the building components and fry those the most, while the less conductive parts of the building component is a little bit less affected. Another one right there. So it just doesn't make sense to me to build this, and then you can see there is a little opening here and another door or something here. So you're going out the door and you're gonna fall to your death. And there's more here, like fused into the so-called mountain, right? So here it is again from a little bit further away, and you see the structure here, part of the mountain, so it's a pocket of survival. You can see all the lines here, that's brick lines, not sedimentary layers, whatever nonsense they tell us. You can see the swelling and expansion here. This structure, there's a thing there, and then of course you have this one that's fused into the thing, and they come with their cult full of pedophiles and put some crosses and make some paintings here and stuff, and they just say, oh, it's an ancient monastery or an ancient church or whatever, you know. Just they need to put some nonsense narrative on these places so we don't ask questions. And there's also this one. And here, this is a very good one. There's a couple of photos from this place, so you can see this little structure here. There's a wall right there, and you can you see how it's tilted backwards? And this whole thing, this whole supposed mountain here, which is the building, is also tipped backwards, so this one sunk down and tipped over a little bit. And there is also something here, apertures and a brick wall, aperture, and there is brickwork all the way here. Okay, I got a little bit clearer photo, the next one. There's brickwork here too, so Pockets of Survival, this one is great, guys. Make this one make sense with the mainstream narrative. So you build this whole thing, and it's not even in here, you know. So you build this whole thing just to have this 4 square meters of space. I mean, it makes no sense. And build it at an angle tipped over like that. So here, look. These are melted structures. Here you can see the brickwork down below here with the window down here. Pockets of Survival, of course. Bricks cooked out, turned into what they call rocks. And here you can see all this brickwork down here. All the way here, and this and that. This is one of the best examples I've seen, actually, of maltology. And it should make you think about the melted buildings, you know, because what is this? Did someone build it like that? I don't think so. This one is also great, just some walls and windows and stuff just on the cliffside. And of course up here, this is all dripping down. I hope you can see this, guys, right? It looks melted, right? So what if it is melted? That's what I'm saying. So it's dripping down here, and you have these pockets that survived here. So how do you get up here? Is this your main entrance here? So when you're going out to get groceries, you just jump down here or something. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, guys. Here, close up, so you can see the door here, or whatever it is just, yeah, it's a mess, guys. So this is why I believe mountains are melted structures, because look at this. And yeah, look at the texture and stuff here. Looks melted to me. Here, another one. On the side of a cliff, far above the ground. Why would you decide to put a building there? The chimneys, and yeah, imagine building this. How many of their builders died to build this? So brickwork here. Pretty cool place. Of Pockets of Survival, melted structures. Here's another one. Just a completely useless building, basically, because the rest looks like this now. So, you know, we don't even know what this is supposed to be before it melted. But there it is. Pocket of Survival. And this one too. Just a little thing that remained. Maybe these things are there so the future civilization, which is us, are supposed to eventually figure this shit out and like, hey, you know, what's this? Because if all the buildings turn into that, then we could probably never figure it out, you know. So thank goodness that we have Pockets of Survival. Here's another one. This one goes into the melt here, and it looks like you have a huge archway and an opening here into some stuff in here behind these trees, etc. Yeah, just look at the whole thing here. This is all a structure here, guys. And here, so the building behind here is very mangled, of course. You can see the lines, they got expanded into block lines here, but it also moved. It was sliding, you know, and it started to eat up this structure. As you can see, this structure is inside here now, and the roof is covered here more and more, you know. So do you see it? Do you see that it doesn't make sense to build like this, and that this thing was at some point viscous and moving slowly and started to swallow this building a little bit, and then the event stopped, and then it densified, and now this is what we are left with. And of course the people here, they took care of this, they painted it probably, they painted some religious entities on here, whatever that means, and yeah, that's what it is. And here, this might be some kind of melted, collapsed archways, I'm not sure. The formation is there. I don't think lava explosions and plate tectonics can do this, is what I'm saying. And also there's no evidence that mountains grow over time like they told us in school. I remember that, like Mount Everest and stuff, they say that it grows a couple of inches a year or something. How do you do that? The mountain is all solid, how can you just suddenly like mold it to make it a little bit taller, like clay, and then densify it again? I mean, how does that work? It makes no sense, guys. That's what I'm saying. So another one here. Little remains. See, it's fused into the rest of the building here, which is the so-called mountain. This one as well, I mean, why do you do this? So you got a little bit of structure here, a little bit of space, but the mountain will take the most of the space inside, so there's almost no room in here. But this tower, was this like a clock tower or something? But you can see it's half now, because it's in here. So why did they build this? What's the purpose of this? Can you see how it's just half or something, you know? Say it's a square, so this wall here on the left is supposed to be probably as long as the front wall here, but it's gone. You know what I mean? What is this? How do you can even see the mountain, supposed mountain back here, so how do you can't even be inside this tower, so why do you do this? Right? Just ask any questions. I want to get you to think. It's a good one. I believe this one is in Russia. Yeah, again, if you want to know the places, take a screenshot and a reverse image search and you can find them. And you can see multiple angles and multiple different photos and stuff from the places, so you can know they're real, they're an actual place, they're not paintings, so they're not AI or anything, they're real places. So just so you can get that confirmed. So here is the weird selective damage again, which I explained in my previous video, how I think the electricity was selective based on conductivity, and for some reason most of the electricity wanted to go in this pattern here, to fuck up these bricks a lot, while some of them are untouched. Okay, so that's what I mean. A cataclysmic event is very difficult to, you know, really know exactly how it happened, but nobody builds like this. You can see the back wall here, perfect bricks, beautiful, and the brickwork here, beautiful, and then you're supposed to do that. Look how disgusting it is. You just don't do it. See how it's so damaged. Look at this, look at all this damage here. Yeah, it's crazy, guys, but it is what it is. You see the bricks back here, how nice they are. Look at that. And in here, in the archway itself, you just put random rocks that you find laying around. I mean, the archway is very important because it's the strongest part of the building to hold this opening up. And then you're just gonna weaken it by putting random rocks and stuff in here. You can see the layers here too. They go all the way. So the bottom here, then a layer of bricks, and then here, through here, layer of bricks, and then here, all this around to here is the same height, and then this pattern. So this is very strange, but that's what a cataclysmic event is. Okay, it's not a volcanic eruption or a tornado or, you know, natural disasters that we have now. This is a cataclysm, guys, and you gotta wrap your mind around that, because we've seen it in movies and stuff, but it happened here where we live right now. More buried buildings. See the melt over the roof here. So this is the building here melting down slowly over here and densifying. The building is now swallowed by the melt. There's more pockets right there. And by the way, this symbol here, I believe it is from the actual old world, possibly resonators that they put on their Antiquitech energy components, but it was hijacked and turned into a cult now. This one is great, guys. Look at this. Need I say more? So you got this building here, very preserved. I like when, you know, when the current civilization preserves some of these structures and, you know, take care of them, because very often, especially a couple of years ago, you know, 50 years ago or so, they removed a bunch of these buildings. But now they're actually protected, and the general public will get pissed if they fuck with some of these remains here. So we should preserve them. But yeah, look at this stuff. Part of the, I mean, how do you build this? Yeah, bucket of survival. This one is in the melt here. This thing sticking out. This one is interesting. And then up here you get something that's completely turned into that. Completely in ruins right there. This one is very great. And here, a bridge-like structure, and you can see the bricks in this archway. Looks like they might have been a little bit pancaked here. You can see how long they are. They're not the standard brick format here. So they were affected, but you can still see obviously the brick. But then you see here, it looks like that. And then up here, it's a little bit corny one, I assume, but you got the layer thing again. So you got a thin layer of brick, and then this balloon rocks that we call it. That happened because of grain growth. That's actually a scientific term, grain growth. So you can look that up. Shapu made a good video on that, so check out his channel. It's in the Linktree/Meltology channels. It's called Frutkiss Research My Research. He has great stuff, so check him out. He's going deep in this kind of stuff to explain more. But yeah, balloon rocks or grain growth, and then bricks. Same here. So it's the layer thing. I mean, do you think someone built like that? So this is a result of the cataclysm again. It mangled the structures. Okay, so who hired a guy from this brick company or bricklaying company? Which bricklayer is doing that? That's a terrible job. Is that the new guy? Yeah, just look at this. So for some reason you have bricks here untouched, and then a lot of them turn into this stuff. Okay, there's no rocks, it's all melted buildings, guys. So, you know, the reality we live in is crazy, because, you know, how everything is a lie. Yeah, nature is a lie too. I mean, this is not nature. Basically, it's a whole structure appearing as what we call nature. I mean, of course, if you go to the forest, it is nature, but it sits on top of melted ruins and brick ash. So, you know, what is nature and what is ruins? So, yeah, we live on a plain white graveyard, basically. Here, more remains. Some kind of archway and bridge. Who knows how it looked before this melted? So, you had giant buildings, and you probably had bridges from building to building, because you got, I mean, the real ground level is way down there, so you got a 3,000 floor building, and then of course you have bridges from building to building instead of going down, over and up. So you probably had a bunch of these connecting the buildings, so you can cross, and also probably to connect the electricity that went through these structures from building to building in certain ways, etc. So this is in the middle of nowhere, so I mean, are you supposed to bring all these blocks with donkeys, climb up here, and then start building? And down here you can see it bends, so it looks like it maybe was another arch down here. Can't know because it's not there anymore, it's mangled, but it looks like the angle is a little bit archy here. So maybe you had another arch here, you know, archways, horseshoe magnets, whatever they used to be. And here there's an archway here. It's just same place, and then it goes up like that. And then here, red rock for red bricks, and then you have a brick wall between two sections of melt, and then some kind of archway looking thing down here. This is strange. How did plate tectonics put a brick wall between their stuff here, you know? This one is cool. This is on top of a huge pillar, you could say. So there is some structure here. There's a little opening here, and you see they put a ladder here to access this. And the background here looks pretty straight and melted. But yeah, you look at this. I got 3 photos of this place, I think. So this building is on top of there. Okay. Here it is from a little bit further away and further down. Structures on top of this huge supposed mountain-like pillar. Here, another angle. You can see how straight and flat this side is. This is the bottom, and you can see buildings here, structure, and then look, there's a ladder up the whole thing. I think I got another photo too. Ah, shit, I didn't bring that one. You could see the whole ladder. It's a tall ladder. I mean, look, it's pretty tall up here. You can get an idea. So there's a ladder. So, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, people saw this, and then somehow they built a ladder and brought this material up there in a ladder and built there. Or is this the top of a huge melted structure, and now it looks like this? Look. Yeah, that's the ladder here. You can see the ladder going up. I mean, yeah, Pocket of Survival. This one is pretty good. It's pretty cool. And here, I took this one because you can see the core of the structure is red brick. But you can see some of these concrete molds, it looks like, that they attach to the exterior. And that's why you have buildings with these beautiful designs. They put concrete molds. Look, there's just a little bit left. But that's how they did it, okay? So you have a mold, you pour concrete in it, and then you attach it to the bricks, and then you can have all these beautiful details. There's no carvings, like the way they tell us. And that applies to Egypt too, you know, all their hieroglyphs and stuff. It's just attached concrete molds. I have videos on that too. In the past, so you know, go back in time, etc. Here, screams melt to me. What do you think? Somebody carved here, or is it a melted structure? Look at the appearance of it, look at the texture, and you got a bunch of windows here. I think I got 2 from this place. Yeah, look at that. here, this is amazing. So you got the brick structure here, and then a brick entrance way here, and a brick pillar in here. And this pillar is supposed to hold up this thing. I'm pretty sure this thing is one chunk, so it would perfectly stay up without this pillar in here. But yeah, look at the texture. It looks like it could have been like a dome here, melted. Then look at the entrances here. So some people say, how is it melted because all the openings are square? I mean, not all openings are square, some are. But look here, that's not square, that's not square. Probably used to be, something like that. So it all depends on the level of melting, the level of heat, the circumstances, the weight of the building. When it kind of melts and becomes viscous, it's pressing down on itself. You know, it depends on all the circumstances, if they're square or not. But yeah, look at the texture. Look at the texture here and say that's not melted. You got a ton of openings here. And they block them off to the public because they don't want you to go inside here, because if you do, you might find something you're not supposed to see. For example, internals of buildings, who knows, maybe it's in good condition inside here, and they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna block these off so they don't see. Because look, outside obviously says, hey, I'm melted, but if you go inside and it's a nice building inside, then you're gonna know, hey, this is melted, you know. They don't want you to know. This one is good. It's great. You can see those spire-like cylinder towers that they use on, you know, buildings that they had. That still stands. You know, a lot of the churches, cathedrals, and government buildings and stuff. You know, those Gothic-style structures. This is the same, but this one is, of course, annihilated. You can see. I mean, why did you carve this? Are you supposed to sit here on this ledge and just sit there? I mean, it's useless. Why do you carve this? Can't use it for anything. But then some of them are openings, and here you can see it's not square. It's not perfectly square. I just see comments all the time. It's square, it has to be carved. Well, they're not perfectly squares a lot of the times. Perfect squares. And then you can see pillars here in pretty good condition with some fancy designs and stuff. The internals are not that bad, but the outside looks like shit. How come? Wouldn't you like, if you gonna carve this stuff, wouldn't you like make the outside look nice too, so the people walking by can be like, oh, look at this beautiful building, you know? You're just gonna do it on the inside. So you can see the condition here, pretty good. Here, pretty bad. And here, I believe I found that on Facebook. And to whoever says that bricks can't melt, you know, go and stick your head in the sand somewhere. Here, in the middle of this supposed mountain, this is here. What's this doing here? And yeah, they have to secure this stuff from falling apart sometimes. These buildings, sometimes they're crumbly and loose pieces and stuff, and they fall down and they can kill people. This one is great, because you can see here, this beautiful structure here. And then you can see here these mangled bricks. You can see the exterior concrete finish here. Okay, so this is a layer that they put outside of the brickwork. These bricks are of course mangled and deformed, heat from the bottom mostly, and the stucco fell off. So yeah, all the bricks are mangled here. Heat expanded, grain growth turned into bigger blocks, all uneven. You know, how can you put this beautiful exterior concrete finish on this shitty surface like that? You know, so it's all mangled here. Then you go down and you see bricks cooked out to smaller pieces here, and you can just see how mangled it is. You got some red stuff in here. And yeah, look at the bottom of this thing. I mean, you're gonna build this huge castle and you build it on that. Nah. You need a proper foundation when you build. You can't build this huge heavy ass thing on this. Look. Come on, guys. This is cool. This is very cool. You got this structure, and then, you know, look at this stuff here. Look at this structure here. This looks like rebar. But I've been, you know, in my home country in Norway, we have a lot. I live near the coast, you know, and we have a lot of these so-called World War II bunkers. And I've been to a lot of them. I made videos on it in the past. They're on my channel, so go back. Yeah, a lot of this. I don't think they're rebar. I think they got something to do with the electricity, because you can sometimes see they're just like blown up in a different, like say you have a cable and you overload it with too much electricity, and it will just blow up and go everywhere, you know. Just go back in time and look at my look at the exploration videos of my local hometown in Norway, and see. I think it has something to do with the electricity in the buildings, not rebar. And I'm not saying they're not bunkers, but I think they were originally here and they were repurposed into bunkers, because that's a thing I mentioned before as well. Say there's suddenly a war breaking out. How do you have the time and resources to transport, no, first manufacture and transport all these materials, and then have the workers to build these huge bunkers everywhere in such a short amount of time? And you know, how do you know where the enemy is gonna strike from all the time? How do you know, oh, we gotta put one there in the middle of the forest? Because, you know, you can't just spawn a building like that. So there's a lot of things with the war that don't make sense either, but that's for another time. We're doing melted structures now. A huge archway here, piece of something. I mean, what is this? And of course the huge building itself. But yeah, look, this is all a melted building, I mean. So here it is from afar. What is this? It goes in here too. Look at this. I put a cross here, of course. Of course. Oh yeah, this building goes in here too. This is part of the thing, it looks like. Is it open here? Yeah, it's a weird place. It's a weird place. This is also one of my favorites. I had to go back in thousands of photos to find this, because I've shown it before, but this is just very fascinating, because what is this? So when you see Maltology, and to see it is the same as geocentric Earth, okay? So you know the heliocentric system is a lie. Maltology is the same. You either know or you don't know. You know it's true or you don't know it's true, and then you can be curious, like that. I appreciate you guys that's saying like, hey, and you have genuine questions and all that stuff, because you want to learn more. And to do that, you can ask questions in comments. I can answer some of them. Other people in the comments, if you see a question you can answer, please answer them the best you can. I don't have all the answers in the world, but if you're curious and you keep looking at this, one day it will just snap like this, bam, and you'll see it. So I appreciate you guys. Here, a wall. Why do you build a wall here when you got this supposed mountain and then brick at the top? And here, yeah, this is swelling heat damage here, guys. And it melted down. You can see some melt flow here, expansion and swelling here, all damage, huge swelling right there. Some weird stuff going on right there. Another one swallowed by the melt. Look at this structure. So melted. Look at the whole thing. I mean, yeah. Here, melted city much. So openings here. They look a little compressed from all this stuff above. Openings here, structures everywhere, and openings, apertures and stuff. And then you have this. But look at the side here. Look how straight it is. Still see the lines, brick lines. Look at the texture and look how flat and straight it is. So the plate tectonics is just gonna do that. Nah, it's all melted ruins, guys. Just look at it. Remains, melted ruins. More stuff swallowed by the melt. Structure now appears as a so-called mountain. But you have this. Look, you can see the melt flowing over the roof here. Before it densified. All this stuff hanging down, rock curtaining, whatever is down here. And here, Cappadocia in Turkey, headquarters of Maltology. If you're new and curious, look up Cappadocia in Turkey, and hopefully you'll start to see how it's melted. So, what's the structure and what's supposedly carved here? Look at all this stuff up here. Look at all this stuff. Here looks like a tower, the spires, but look at the texture, it's all mangled. There's tons of these over in Cappadocia. You got brickwork here fused into the melt here, apertures, horizontal lines, brick lines, got stuff here. I mean, look at all those clues saying, hey guys, I got melted in a cataclysm. Do you see me? Yes, I do. Yes, sir. Great photo. Great photo. Okay. So, yeah. Apertures. Far up. Ground is here. Here's the trees and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, you had to go up and down here probably 20 times a day, because inside this little hole, there's nothing to do there. There's no fucking Xbox, there's no newspaper. I mean, what are you doing there? You only sleep, right? So, or you go out to harvest some food and you go out, put it there, and then you go down, because you gotta do something. You can't just sit in your cave up on the cliffside all day. And you can see the red tone, and yeah, it's a huge structure, guys. Look at the top. Melting down, melting down. This one is great. This one is actually amazing. So more structure swallowed by the swelling, melting, moving, viscous building. And here another clock tower that's in here, like the one we saw earlier. It's in here. So again, you can assume it's about as deep as wide here, but it's in here. Okay, it's in the melt. You got these archways all filled in. Archway here with melt, swelling, archways, but it's all mangled. Another filled in archway here, melt from behind and inside, swelling, filling up the archway. Stuff down here, weird formations down here, some mangled brickwork, grain growth, balloon rocking. Yeah, you got it all. This is a great photo. There's one more, little more clear here. So can you see here how it's at the top? You can see it's deeper, but here it's so shallow right there because it's inside the mountain, which is the melt. Yeah, look over there. melt, filling up the archways, and yeah, remains, guys. Not a great one here. What the hell are you doing when you build it like that? Yeah, pocket of survival here. Rest of the building looks like that. I mean, see, supposed to be bricks, but they're mangled. Another great one here. Obviously a structure with windows, and then here mangled windows, deformed. More windows here, and whatever this used to be. So it's melted. This huge section of the building melted, while this one still stands. It's a little cooked, of course, but it still stands. Look here, all this stuff, and there's more stuff below it. Yeah, just look here. Do you see the melt? Structure, horizontal lines is brick lines. Sometimes pancake brick lines, sometimes heat expanded and swollen brick lines, so they are like block lines, we call them, like here, bigger. But you see the horizontal lines, it's not sedimentary layers, it's bricks, simple. And here, this structure is also swallowed by the melt here. But heat expanded and swollen and mangled and compressed down on itself. This is more like pancake brick lines here. But you see the structure and you see the structure. And that was it, guys. That's all the 50 photos for today's video. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you like the way I explain stuff. You know, every video try to do it slightly different, but also same, because people seem to enjoy it. So if you got this far, please make sure to hit the big red subscribe button if you want to get updates when I upload, and the bell, of course. Please like it to help the channel out, help it grow so other people can see this important stuff, so other people can get educated. Share it with your friends. Leave a comment, a nice one, hopefully. The bad ones I'm not gonna respond, most likely, unless I've come up with a good troll comment to comment back to you. So I appreciate you guys, and also thank you guys for PayPal donations. That's gonna really help me out these days, because there is some car issues. I think I gotta replace the oil cooler, and that's gonna really assist with that. So I appreciate you guys. I'll leave your names in the scrolling text coming up. Okay, thank you guys, and I appreciate you. Take care, have a good one, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in 2 days. Bye.